Breaking news tonight. Police desperately searching for a beautiful little 3-year-old Florida girl, Caylee, after her grandparents report her missing. Little Caylee now not seen for 12 long weeks, last seen with her mother. So why didn't Mommy call police? Bombshell tonight in the last hours. Even more criminal charges handed down against Mom Casey. 10 felony counts alleging multiple thefts and fraud. It could land Mom Casey 50 years behind bars. Charges piling up. Arrest is imminent. Will she turn herself in? This, as all formal searches are called off. Repeat, searches called off for little Caylee. And now Mom Casey caught in even more lies, this time about Caylee's biological dad. Her stories get more and more bizarre. And in a stunning move, the defense team demands all testing of scientific evidence in the Caylee investigation be stopped. The FBI discovers so much chloroform in Mom Casey's car trunk, even the air in the trunk was saturated. Evidence of human decomposition in Mom Casey's car trunk. All indicators are it was 3-year-old little Caylee. Tonight, Mom Casey still sits all day behind closed doors at her lawyer's office, mulling a whopping $1.5 million offer for her story. And a website is in the works, a website to solicit money for Mom Casey's legal fund, not to fund the search for little Caylee. Tonight, as Mom Casey's arrest is imminent, where is Caylee?
Breaking developments in the case of missing 3-year-old Florida toddler Caylee Anthony.
Tot mom Casey Anthony could be arrested at any moment.
The state attorney's office has just issued 10 formal charges against tot mom Casey Anthony for allegedly forging 3 checks belonging to a friend.
These checks came from her friend's car, Amy Heisinger. Amy went on vacation to Puerto Rico, allowing Casey to use the car, and she allegedly took some checks. She's passing this bad paper. Apparently, she has passed some additional bad checks to area businesses such as Winn-Dixie, AT&T.
The theft and fraud charges Anthony now faces are all felonies and carry a maximum of 50 years in jail if she's convicted on all counts. Meanwhile, reports from local media say that Anthony could face more charges relating to the theft of the checks stolen from her friend in early July.
Casey Anthony could be busted at any moment.
Okay, so your daughter stole money from your car?
No, my car was stolen. We've retrieved it today. We found out where it was at. I've retrieved it. I've got that, and I've got affidavit for my banking account. I want to bring her in. I want to press charges.
Does it ever end with this woman? Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. I want to thank you for being with us tonight. The desperate search for a beautiful 3-year-old Florida girl, Caylee.
New charges now being filed this morning against Casey Anthony. In trouble all over again for alleged check fraud. Still no sign of her missing 3-year-old daughter, Caylee.
Sources tell Local 6 that sometime in the next few days, Casey will be arrested yet again on more check fraud charges. Only this time she'll be taken into custody with much less fanfare than her previous arrest.
3 new charges claim Casey Anthony stole checks and money from a friend while that friend was out of town. And she did this during a time when Caylee was missing.
These are grand theft charges, fraud and forgery charges for the checks. And if she is convicted on these counts, she's facing 10 counts in all. They're punishable by up to 5 years in prison for each one. So she would be looking at 50 years if that were to happen.
I don't know what your involvement is, sweetheart. You're not telling me where she's at.
Because I don't know where she's at. Are you kidding me?
Straight out to Mark Williams with WNDB News Talk. Mark, more charges. When will she be arrested?
Well, first off, those charges keep stacking up. Today, of course, we had those 10 charges, all felony charges, 1 count of grand theft, 3 counts of fraudulent use of personal identification, 3 counts of forgery by check, 3 counts of uttering a forged check. 50 years of the slammer she could get, Nancy, on these charges if convicted. Arrest anytime. Jose Baez, her attorney says he wants to be notified when the sheriff's office goes to arrest her because
oh, really, Mark Williams?
Yeah?
Let me guess. Pause. He wants her to turn herself in like last time. Hello. Last time he sent a fax to the jail. The jailhouse, the sheriff's office, gets thousands of faxes a day. You want to surrender somebody? You go over there. I've been to the jail at midnight before when I had business to do as a lawyer. When you have an issue, you go then. You don't send a fax to sit in a stack till the next day. So what's he doing about it?
Well, he says he wants to be notified before they arrest her. He doesn't want another spectacle on live TV, which happened 2 weeks ago
I
on
hardly
this show.
think her being arrested for bad checks and forgeries is a spectacle. The spectacle is there's a little girl missing, Mark Williams.
I agree, Nancy. I mean, and that's the primary thing. And what's interesting, as you pointed out, is that this website, another website's being developed to pay for her defense fund instead of looking for little Caylee. What's going on?
Now, I'm getting a lot of conflicting reports, Mark Williams. These press releases keep being issued every day, and they actually conflict. The other day, one of the press releases, the people representing the defense law firm says they're creating a website. They are creating a website to solicit our money to help Mom Casey Anthony. All right, now they're saying, no. They don't have any, the defense doesn't have anything to do with that. Well, who does?
Well, I got the same information you did, Nancy, and it appears that this PR firm that is working for Jose Baez is going to put together this website. No idea when it's going to go live, but they're searching for money right now any way they can.
We are taking your calls live. Let's unleash the lawyers. Joining us tonight, felony prosecutor Eleanor Dixon out of Atlanta, defense lawyer out of Atlanta, no stranger to a courtroom, Peter Odom, and veteran trial lawyer Mickey Sherman in the New York jurisdiction, also author of How Can You Defend Those People? All right, you know you're in trouble, Eleanor, when you got to hire a PR firm.
You got that right, Nancy. I'm thinking in my 17 years as a prosecutor, I have never dealt with a PR firm with a defendant. Isn't that interesting?
What about it, Mickey?
Well, you know, not everyone is as media savvy as we all are here. As we've seen...
Speak for yourself.
I know. As we've seen, this family...
I think it's a bunch of bunk.
Yeah, but this family has not been able to deal with the media.
If I thought I was going to be charged with a crime, I would not be spending my money on a PR firm.
I doubt they're spending much money. I'll bet the PR firm is doing it for next to nothing, just for the publicity itself. But when you've got those satellite trucks staked outside your house for God knows how long, these people can't handle it, and they've reacted very badly to it. So it's not that unwise a decision, frankly. It's better than having all those Jackson family spokespeople who came forward during the Jackson case.
I hardly think, Mickey Sherman, that this case in any way compares to the Michael Jackson debacle. Peter Odom, have you ever dealt with a PR firm when you're looking at a child neglect or a child murder case?
No, I haven't, but I've never dealt with a case that has the unprecedented media attention of this case, and the defense would be foolish not to hire a media consultant. This jury pool is absolutely going to be infected unless they do something to correct that. So it was a good move by them.
Well, of course, Eleanor Dixon hiring a PR firm at this juncture has nothing whatsoever to do with a future jury pool, and that jury pool can be cured by simply moving moving venues, or rehabilitating the jurors by asking them if they can continue to be fair and impartial regardless of what they have heard on television.
Exactly right, Nancy, and that's the first thing you do in jury selection is see who can be fair and impartial and who's heard of the case, and if they can set that aside to listen to evidence.
Okay, once again, we're putting the cart before the horse. We're talking about jury selection. Back to Natisha Lance standing by at the Anthony home. What about the searches, Natisha? Why have the searches been called off? I do not accept that it's because of flooding at this point.
Well, I think the searches have been called off at this point, Nancy, because there's a lack of tips, a lack of information coming in. Also, due to that flooding, police have not been able to search the areas that they want to search, and they are running out of information, partly because Casey still has not given them more information to go off of, and they don't know where else to look.